To recap, this evening it's certainly looking, if the exit polls are correct, that the SNP are going to take the lion's share of the seats in Scotland. Nationwide it looks to be a Conservative majority, with Labour losing up to 70 seats.
We are live here at the Lagoon Leisure Centre with Paisley FM.
The count's underway here at the Lagoon.
So Gavin, delighted to have you here on Paisley FM.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
People of Scotland have said that Scotland should have the right to choose its own future.
So I'm joined by Ross from the Liberal Democrats. How are you this evening?
I'm very well. I'm very pleased with the increase we've seen in our vote share here in Renfrewshire. Set out to build on our support from the European elections, and we've achieved that.
So Mary, thank you for being here on Paisley FM. How have you found the evening so far?
It's been warmer because I'm not outside for once. This Brexit, anti-immigration, constant austerity, all of this stuff, it is just not what our society votes for, and it's not what we believe in. So I think that we're clearly seeing that people are demonstrating that they want something different.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the results for the Paisley and Renfrewshire South constituency. I, Sandra Black, Returning Officer for the Paisley and Renfrewshire South constituency, declare that the total number of votes given to each candidate was as follows. Mary Black, Scottish National Party, 21,637. Jack William George Clark, Scottish Liberal Democrats, 2,918. Mark James Duggan, Scottish Conservative and Unionist, 7,571. Moira Ramage, Scottish Labour Party, 10,900. And the total number of votes was 43,217. Therefore, I declare that Mary Black is duly elected as the Member of Parliament for the Paisley and Renfrewshire South constituency. Thank you.
Well, I would like to start by thanking the returning officer, and I would like to thank all the counting staff as well for all the work that they've done to ensure that we've got a fair and professional contest. And I also want to give special thanks to the police for ensuring the safety of everyone and for making sure that things go smoothly. But I also want to thank my opponents for a very well contested and on the whole respectful campaign. I think we would all agree that winter is a difficult time for an election, and activists from all parties should be commended for all the work that they've done. I want to give special thanks to my team. They have all been fantastic, and I truly could not be more grateful or prouder of them. And in particular, I want to thank my first-time election agent, Robert Innes, for the sterling job that he's done. And I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for every single volunteer that has chapped a door, that's stuffed a letter, and has delivered a leaflet over the last 6 weeks. But this election is yet another chance to send a clear message that we reject a Tory government, we reject Brexit, and we reject austerity. The disregard shown by Westminster to this constituency and so many others cannot continue. Ultimately, the future of Scotland must be decided by the people of Scotland and not by Westminster. And representing this constituency has been the honour of a lifetime. So lastly, I would just like to thank all the voters for putting their faith in me to continue fighting for that fairer society that I know that we all want. So thank you very much.
I I would also like to thank Returning Officer, all the election staff of the police, my agent, Councillor Anna McCartan, and all the Lib Dem volunteers that helped me in this campaign. And also, most importantly, all the voters that voted Lib Dem and voted for a brighter future in this election. I just want to say that prior to 2015, there wasn't an SNP MP for Paisley, and the last Liberal MP for Paisley was elected in 1931, so watch this space.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to start by congratulating Mary on her success tonight, and I wish her well over the next parliamentary term. It was always going to be a challenge for the Conservatives to increase our vote share in an area which has traditionally been dominated by the SNP and Labour. However, I am pleased with tonight's result, and this is a good foundation for the Scottish Conservatives to build upon at the Holyrood elections and indeed the next council election. Thank you to all of the public who voted Conservative today. I'd like to thank all the party activists and volunteers who assisted with my campaign. Your help is very much appreciated. And finally, I'd like to thank the Returning Officer and her election team for working through the night tonight, as I'm sure that we're all ready to get home. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'd like first of all to thank the Returning Officer and her staff for a very efficient way of handling this evening's business. Secondly, I'd like to give my thanks to the police, who has always made sure things are dealt with in a secure and safe way. I would like to thank the other candidates and congratulate Mary on her win this evening. I'd like to thank my own team who've worked tirelessly, and my agent, Conor Cunningham. I'd like to thank those who are my team who came out hail, rain or shine in this very bad weather that we're suffering just now. It wasn't easy, but I'm very proud of all the things that you've done and all the hard work that you've done for me. I would like to thank all those who voted for Labour and who trusted their vote with me and with Labour. It's not been an easy night for Labour, I'm the first to concede that, but it's been a journey. I've met very interesting people on the way, and Labour will continue that fight for the people that we represent. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the results for the Paisley and Renfrewshire North constituency. I, Sandra Black, Returning Officer for the Paisley and Renfrewshire North constituency, declare that the total number of votes given to each candidate was as follows. Gavin Andrew Stuart Newlands, Scottish National Party, 23,353. Julie Baroni, Scottish Conservative and Unionist, 11,217. Ross Stalker, Scottish Liberal Democrats, 3,661. Alison Suzanne Watt Taylor, Scottish Labour Party, 11,451. The total number of ballot papers rejected was 153, and the total number of votes was 49,835. I therefore declare Gavin Andrew Stuart Newlands is duly elected as the Member of Parliament for the Paisley and Renfrewshire North constituency. Thank you.
Well, we've only gone and done it again. Can I start by thanking the Returning Officer, all our election team, the council staff that have been here tonight in the polling places across the constituency, and of course the police for their hard work today. And I'm also extremely grateful to all of my opponents for the respectful way they and their election teams have handled this campaign. But if all of them or the above don't mind, can I reserve an even bigger thanks to this lot right here, my campaign team who have worked extraordinarily hard in quite horrendous weather over these last few weeks. I'm forever grateful to them for all their hard work. Now, my agent, John Shaw, can be, as most of you here might know, a bit of a grumpy git at times. But the fact is, we've only had 2 arguments in this entire campaign. I have to say it again, it's been a first-class campaign, so my thanks very much to him. It would also be wrong to pick an individual activist given the huge team effort, but I'm going to anyway. My team will know that if anything was slightly wrong or was slightly slow, my dad to get the blame. And so I'd like to apologise to my dad and thank him for his efforts in this campaign as well. I just need to speed up a bit. I must also obviously thank my wife and family for all their support through this campaign and indeed over the last 4.5 years. I couldn't do it without them. But of course my biggest thanks is to the people of Paisley and Renfrewshire North. It's been a privilege of my life to serve as their MP for this last 4.5 years, and I thank them immensely for giving me the chance to continue that representation. I will not let you down. However, my campaign team was sadly too short. This time around, Councillor Bill Perry and John Clark were both well-loved figures in the Renfrewshire SNP family, and their loss, and in John's case, at just 34 years old, has been keenly felt. So this one is for them. To conclude this result here tonight, a result which has been echoed, as I'm sure you all know, in county halls across Scotland, sends a very clear, a crystal clear message to Boris Johnson. Scotland doesn't want Brexit. Scotland wants the right to choose its own future, and Scotland certainly doesn't want you. You have zero mandate in Scotland. Scotland, it's early days, but it looks like Scotland has been foisted with a Prime Minister and a government it didn't vote for, as has been the case for 26 of my 39 years. The results in Scotland tonight, viewed against the results in England, highlight the hugely difficult political journeys that both Scotland and the rest of the UK are on, and this democratic deficit cannot continue. Being no doubt, Boris' position on a second referendum is untenable, and his premiership in Scotland is indefensible. And I look forward to both of them ending and Scotland taking its place as a successful, independent country in the European Union. Not only can we do it, we must do it. Thank you very much.
And all the staff that have come out and in the polling stations around the constituency and here this evening, as well as the police who have kept us all safe throughout the campaign. I'd like to thank my agent, Sheila Fulton, who's had to go home early this evening because she's not been very well, but she's been a fantastic support, and the Scottish Conservative team who supported me in every way that we could have possibly had over the last 6 weeks. I'd also like to thank everyone who voted Scottish Conservative in this election. I think it shows that we are very close to the other parties and it stands us in very good stead for 2021. Thank you all very much.
I'd also like to thank the returning officer, the police and the county staff for their hard work in delivering another smoothly administered election process in Renfrewshire at a very challenging time of year for it. I'd like to thank my agent Eileen McCartan and all of the Liberal Democrat volunteers who helped fight for a brighter future in this campaign. And I'd like to thank my fellow candidates for the good nature of this campaign as well. And I'd like to thank the voters for a respectable result for the Lib Dems here in Renfrewshire, which also stands us in good stead for making gains in 2021 and 2022. And congratulations to Gavin on his re-election. Regardless of any political differences we have, I'm glad that we do have an MP who works hard for Renfrewshire. Thank you.
Can I first of all congratulate Gavin Newlands on his re-election. Returning officer, I thank you and all of your staff for the proficient manner in which you conducted the count tonight. Can I thank the police for their presence here tonight and at the polling stations and for all their thoughtful advice during the course of the campaign? Can I thank the thousands of people who voted for me and Scottish Labour? We will continue to stand up for this community of Paisley and Renfrewshire North. So many people have helped with this election, too many to mention. The effort from our dedicated members and the campaign team have been totally awesome. I must particularly thank my talented agent, Rory Stride, and sub-agent Mary Galbraith for their dedication and perseverance. They are an amazing pair. Can I pay tribute to all the elected representatives, past and present, who have helped and offered their counsel. I thank my wonderful family and friends for their love and support, and finally praise the other candidates for their courtesy at all times. Thank you.